we can move on to the next important topic, that is psoriasis. It's commonly asked in your question paper. Okay, we can see the detail about the topic. First one, definition. Simple definition of psoriasis: a chronic, non-infectious inflammatory skin disorder with well-defined erythematous plaques and large adherent silvery scales. Achronic means it's progressive in nature. Non-infectious means it will not transfer from one person to another. And inflammatory skin disorder. There will be inflammation in the skin with well-defined erythematous plaques. So there will be red plaques and it is well-defined. And large adherent silvery scales will be present with the psoriasis. The prevalence rate is 3%. Age onset is 20 to 30 years or 50 to 60 years. In this picture, you can see two pictures. First one, healthy skin. Second one, psoriatic skin. So in the psoriatic skin, you can see the scales, then erythematous plaques, then inflamed skin. Okay, all these features you can observe. And healthy skin will not have any problem. It maintains its healthy structure. Okay, that is the main difference in the psoriasis and the healthy skin. There will be scales, plaques and the inflamed skin. And now we can move on to the causes of psoriasis or the etiology of psoriasis. Most of the etiology, that is idiopathic, unknown origin. Idiopathic means unknown origin. And 30% have family history. That means if the one patient in the family is infected, means their offsprings has higher chance to get this psoriasis. Okay. So if there is any predisposition of the family history of psoriasis, again there is a chance in the offsprings. Next reason is skin trauma. So skin trauma, if trauma is present, if the continuous irritation is there or the infection with the other microorganism, that leads to the psoriasis. Next one, infection. There is a strong association with group beta hemolytic streptococci and psoriasis. Okay, so if the person is infected with hemolytic streptococci, in future there is a chance of developing psoriasis. Next one, regarding the stress. If the patient has stress, definitely their immune system will be affected, right? So the continuous stress affects the human body immune response and chance for the psoriatic lesions. Then endocrine disorders. Endocrine disorders that mainly leads to the keratinous problems or skin problems. Okay, there may be chance for dry skin. Okay, these features may predispose to the psoriasis. Next one, medicines. If the patient is taking continuously some drugs, as a side effect, there may be chance for the occurrence of psoriasis. Next one, alcohol abuse. So we have studied alcohol is harm to the human body, right? So same way the alcohol abuse may predispose to psoriasis. So that's regarding the etiology, and we can't confirm that all this cause psoriasis, but when we are assessing the history, these persons are more affected than the normal population. Okay, that's it. We can move on to the pathophysiology of the psoriasis. We have seen the etiology, right? So the etiological factors, that is stress, genetic, autoimmune reactions and medication cause, that leads to hyperactive of T cells. Hyperactive T cells. And that leads to epidermis infiltration and keratinocyte proliferation. Hyperactive, due to the presence of hyperactive T cells, our epidermis will be infiltrated, then keratinocyte proliferation or multiplication will be happens. That leads to deregulated inflammatory process. It's not regulated one, its deregulated inflammatory response will be occur. That leads to large production of various cytokines, interferons, interleukins, etc. Okay, due to the inflammatory response, that site there will be interferons, interleukins, etc. That leads to the superficial blood vessels dilated and vascular engorgement. Due to the inflammatory reactions, there will be blood vessels will be dilated and vascular engorgement will takes place. Ultimately, this leads to the epidermal hyperplasia and improper cell maturation. Hyperplasia means multiple number of cells, and it is large cells are multiplied, lot of cells will be occur. Okay, epidermal hyperplasia, the epidermal cells will be multiplied. Then improper cell maturation, cell maturation is not takes place, improper cell maturation takes place. So that leads to fails to release adequate lipids, which leads to the flaking, scaling, presentation of the psoriasis lesions. So what happens? Due to the improper cell maturation, the cells fails to maintain its function properly. So what happens? There will not be adequate lipids. Okay. So that leads to flaking. Flaking means peel off. The cells will be peel off. So that leads to scaly skin. Okay, scaling. So that is the representation of the psoriatic lesions. Ultimately, this skin will be silvery, scaly skin. When we are touching, it will be in our hand. Silvery, scaly appearance, like a fish peel. Okay, the appearance will be in the fish peel. We can move on to the symptoms or the types of psoriasis. The first one, plaque psoriasis. Second one, nail psoriasis. Third one, guttate psoriasis. Fourth one, inverse psoriasis. Fifth one, pustular psoriasis. And sixth one, erythrodermic psoriasis. We can see one by one all these psoriasis. The first one, chronic plaque psoriasis. Their highly characteristic sharp demarcation. Okay, we can see sharp demarcation can be seen in the leg of that patient, and psoriatic lesions are pale, blanching ring. Okay, pale and blanching ring. Pale means light shaded. You can see the normal color is not there. Instead of that, light color is there, right? So light color blanching ring appearance, that is known as the Voronoff's ring. Okay, in chronic plaque psoriasis, there is a chance for Voronoff's ring. Actually, this plaque psoriasis, there will be number of lesions may occur, and it may vary from small size to large size, and smaller plaques that may merge to form large plaques. Okay, these lesions most commonly seen in scalp, trunk, and extensor aspects of the limbs. The course of the plaque psoriasis may vary, and the lesions may either resolve spontaneously, remain static, or progress with the enlargement of existing lesions. When you are thinking about psoriasis, you should remember this psoriasis have the active phase and the remission phase. Okay, so in the active stage, all this the lesions will be very active, and after the course or after sometimes it progressively subside itself, and when there is an opportunity occurs, again it will be active. So that is the feature of a psoriatic lesions. So in the chronic plaque psoriasis, the first Werner's ring you should remember. Next one is gutted psoriasis. So in the gutted psoriasis, there will be numerous and small lesions that will be in the 1 centimeter or below the 1 centimeter diameter. Pink with less scale than plaque psoriasis. So here the appearance will be pinkish appearance, and the scales will not be very larger. The larger plaques will not be there in this gutted psoriasis. Very small numerous lesions can be observed. Commonly found in the trunk and the proximal limbs. And most commonly less than 30 years of the individual, the gutted psoriasis is common, and often preceded by upper respiratory tract streptococcal infections. I already explained in the etiology, due to the presence of hemolytic streptococcal infection, there may be chance for the psoriasis, right? So gutted psoriasis is the most predisposed thing that occur with the hemolytic streptococci. Pustular psoriasis, otherwise known as the persistent palmoplantar pustulosis. So there will be in the palm and the plantar area, there will be pustule formation. That is known as the pustular psoriasis. And it is characterized by well circumscribed erythematous scaly plaques studded with pustules that erupt over the palms and soles. There will be multiple plaques may seen in this condition. The important feature is there will be pus-filled lesions, and it is surrounded by the red skin. And it is not that much common. Pustular psoriasis is not that much common and mostly occurs in adult. And this one is very serious because it is pustular appearance. So infectious chance is higher. So it needs immediate treatment. Nail psoriasis, commonly seen along with psoriatic arthritis. It appears as a pitting small bit nail, yellow-brown nail, tender and painful nail with chalk-like debris build up under the nails. And the nail should be keep short and trimmed. And it can be treated with steroid injections and the ultraviolet therapy. Okay. So nail psoriasis, you just remember that nail psoriasis is a feature of psoriatic arthritis, and the symptoms the symptoms will helps to remember onychomycosis, but the brown color nail and the painful nail will not be there in the onychomycosis. Okay. Next one, psoriatic arthritis or arthropathy. It's a most distinctive feature of psoriatic arthritis are distal interphalangeal joint arthritis. So the interphalangeal joint, it will be inflamed and there will be edema and the movement disability will be present. Okay, then dactylitis. Dactylitis means sausage finger. It means the entire finger will be infected due to psoriatic arthritis. Okay, the entire finger will be infected and inflamed, and it is will be painful to the patient.